Today we are going to be talking about purple pushing. I don't know if some of you have gone through this. I have, in my personal experience, a couple of times with some of my babies. Purple pushing is when your medical provider tells you to hold your breath for 10 seconds and push as hard as you can, like you're having a bowel movement. You push as hard as you can over and over again, whether your body is ready or not. Hospitals use purple pushing to speed up labor, but that comes with a lot of risk. And I think common sense would be that you are risking an increase of exhaustion. You are increasing the chances of tearing, and you're also increasing the chances of your baby lacking oxygen because you are holding your breath. With my first two babies, I did have to go through coached pushing. I had gotten the epidural, and once I had the epidural, there was a complete disconnection with my intuition. I could no longer hear the cues that my body was telling me because of the drugs. So I had to be told when to push, and that was after I was 10 centimeters dilated, which doesn't always mean that your body is ready to release your baby. But I went through that with my first two. With my third, I had a quote-unquote unmedicated birth. I wouldn't say it was unmedicated. I didn't have the epidural, but I did have the nitrous oxide, which that in itself caused also a disconnection between really being able to listen to my body. But I could feel my body wanting me to push. So when that happened, I was able to push. I remember being in the hospital room with midwives and like 120 different nurses. That's what it felt like. And I did not want to push correctly. Like I could feel that my body wanted me to push, and I was pushing, but I was not pushing correctly because I felt watched. And I remember internally thinking, I was like, this is going to take longer if I do not fully release. So as soon as I started pushing correctly, I pooped. And seconds after, I had my baby. So with my fourth, this was my most current birth, and it was a free birth here at home in the privacy of my own home, and with just surrounded with peace. And I did not feel an urge to push. I did feel baby like descending. Like once I was fully dilated, like I could feel her head in the vaginal canal, and I knew that she was coming. And when I felt, when I felt people call it the ring of fire, I didn't feel heat. I just remember that I knew that I needed to relax. I needed to surrender. And looking back at the video, I watched myself just like drop my jaw and like start panting. And that was just a natural reaction, which is so cool to see. Like my body knew exactly what it needed to do to birth my baby. And during that time, I did not feel the need to push. I had laid back for a little bit, and then my husband sat me up. And as soon as he sat me up, she came right out. But that is my personal experience with pushing. And I can say that each time it has been kind of different. And I will say the best time was when nobody told me what I needed to do. My body just knew exactly what I needed to do, and I listened and I surrendered. There's definitely a difference between coached pushing and spontaneous pushing and mother-led pushing, because nobody is telling the woman that she needs to push. She is just listening to her body and knowing that it is what it wants her to do. I would say instinctually, our bodies are created to birth babies. We have been doing it since the beginning of time. And the narrative that has been created telling us that we need other people to birth babies is a right down lie. It's an absolute lie. If I had more children, I would 100% continue to birth outside of the industrialized medical system, because I have been able to experience the freedom that comes with free birthing. It is an empowerment that I cannot describe. I hope that you enjoyed my video, and I hope that it taught you something. And if there is something else that you would like for me to make a video on, comment down below.